You learn more, you earn more, right? Well, not necessarily. Now, I'm not saying that learning isn't valuable. In fact, I think it's very valuable, but it is something that's become a bit distorted in my eyes, especially in this day and age. You see, we live in a time where information is more readily available than it ever has been before. We have at our fingertips the ability to access a database of so much information that even decades ago we didn't have. Now, if learning more and more and more really resulted in success, wouldn't we see way more people being successful? We probably would. And the reason we don't is because information alone isn't going to cut it. Information alone isn't the answer. I'll tell you a quick story about myself to really illustrate this point. You see, in my early 20s, I really loved to learn. I read so many self-help books, listened to more podcast episodes than I could possibly count. I must have watched thousands of YouTube videos as well on this topic. And I also joined a ton of online communities of other kind of wannabe entrepreneurs. And despite accumulating all of this knowledge, I was no closer to my goals. And I was still living in my mom's basement. Even though I was now aware of all this information, all these tools, strategies, and gold nuggets of wisdom, not much had changed. Why? Because I had unintentionally trapped myself into something that so many people unfortunately fall into the trap of. And that is the trap of the information gatherer. Again, so many people fall for this, thinking that the more that they know, the more successful they're gonna be. But if you look at their bank account, how stressed out they are, where they live, how free they are, that's gonna give you the real answer. Now, there are two things I wanna go over here really quick to either get you out of this mode that's not leading to your success, or if you haven't gone through it, to completely avoid it. First off, it's to understand that knowing and not doing is the same as not knowing. Applied knowledge is power. So it doesn't really matter how much you know. It's kind of useless if you don't put it into motion through action. And applied knowledge, especially the right information, the right knowledge, has the ability, the potential to transform your life. However, if we add one more ingredient, we suddenly have a formula for success, and that is focus. This is an old quote, but I think it rings very true. Where focus goes, energy flows. And what you focus on grows. What you focus on expands. However, if you're constantly changing your focus from one thing to the next, even if you're taking action each time you're changing focus, you won't get very far because you're not focusing deep enough. Think of it this way. Let's say you have 2 plants, but you only have enough water to feed one of them per day. Simply put, the one that you feed will be the one that grows and expands. However, if you do what most people do and try to feed them both, so let's say you give half of the water that represents your focus here to each of them, they might stay alive perhaps even grow a tiny amount, but they'll never thrive. They'll never reach their potential. So how do we choose which plant out of the many you probably could focus on? Well, simply put, which of them align to you? Which one truly makes your heart sing? That's what I would invite you to focus on. When I started actually applying what I was learning while at the same time focusing on what made my heart sing, radical changes in my life started happening quickly. I quit my soul-sucking job that I had that was taking me away from what I truly wanted to do. I started to put my full attention on my business. I bought a one-way ticket to Thailand because my heart told me to do so without really knowing much about where I was going. I fell in love with an amazing woman and actually took her with me. My business started to expand quickly, and amazing synchronistic opportunities started coming into my life very often. I traveled to Mexico, Bali, Cambodia, Vietnam, to name a few, and went on some incredible adventures and saw quite breathtaking things. Now I'm able to apply this information and knowledge at a higher and higher level while also continually doing the things that I love. And seriously, this all started when I made the choice to stop being an information gatherer. Simply put, because I knew it would get me nowhere. Trying to water 50 different plants with enough water to feed one isn't gonna get you far. But taking the leaps from my heart, making powerful, focused decisions often, even ones completely outside my comfort zone, especially those ones, led to incredible adventures, changes, lessons, and so much fulfillment in my life. So is learning a great skill? Absolutely. But don't let it get in the way of your success. Now, if you want to learn these concepts at a deeper level, how to apply the right information in a way that's actually going to lead to lasting change, to focus on the things that are actually going to transform your life, then check out my Facebook group down below. That's linked down below, where we talk about lasting transformation. It's free to join. Check that out if that's something you are interested in. Thanks for watching, and let's kick this information gathering habit together.